How are you doing in terms of your relationship with your wife and your children?
There are, well, my youngest, I never really had a problem with him. My oldest, well, since he takes medication, and if he doesn't take it, it gets a little hectic. So it kind of would come and go there. My wife, well, she works shift or early morning shift work. So that means she could be up and at 1 in the morning and gone by 4, and she gets home sometimes around 2 to 3 in the afternoon. So when she gets home, it's like she's not really awake. She wants to go to sleep. So our life schedule's really hectic.
Is that hard for you to adjust to, that odd hours and
Part Some of it yes, others of it no. The reason being is because we've been pretty much doing that kind of lifestyle since before my accident, so I was somewhat used to it. The only part I'm not used to being is at home, not talking to anybody, and I miss all the friendship I had with all my work people that I worked with.
what do you do to try to get more contact with people?
Um, Generally just go out and talk to them, and I've well, how can I say this? My wife would always ask me, "How do you know this guy?" Because I talked to him before someplace else. Or I've seen him before. Like I'll be at a store. I'll just stop at somebody and start carrying a conversation.
You still do that as much?
Kind of.
Are you sometimes blurt things out that you shouldn't say, say things that are inappropriate?
uh, I've been hollered at about that. So I know it does happen.
Who's doing the hollering? Your wife?
Oh yeah. And once in a while my friend will, or my mom and dad, they'll say something, but
Do you feel like you're being treated like a child sometimes?
oh yes.
Explain.
It's like they'll sit there and explain to me like this is how you do it. You do it this step and this step and this step. And it's like I already know the steps.
Do you find that you do actually know that, or you just think that you do?
I do know the steps.
How do you get people to understand that even though you went through that period where you really did have to be shown how to do everything, that you're pretty much back to being who you are, except for the specific limitations that you just can't get past?
Yeah, it very difficult. It's how can you say unless they actually been there, they don't know.
Well, how can you help them understand?
That I've been trying to figure out, and until somebody comes up with an answer, I guess we'll never know.
Do you hope that what you're doing today will help others understand what it is that you do deal with every day?
I sure hope it does.
What is it you want to add that we haven't already talked about that will be something that could help someone who's 6 months from his or her injury, or a year from his injury, and trying to figure out how to get his life back?
Oh, I think the biggest thing that helped me is having friends, relatives, immediate family there, um, trying to go over things. Well, do you remember when we went to this place, or do you remember doing this? You know, just kind of going through that, and it just kind of bringing back memories and trying to put things back to perspective.
Anything else you want to add?
I sure hope this doesn't happen to you.